Ugh.
Yep.
All right, there we
Also,
go.
Peter, you're are you growing a beard intentionally?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is going to be around for a couple of weeks or so. The amusing thing is that I don't know if this level of detail, but it really looks like somebody has just spackled it with whiteout. Is how the gray has come into it. It looks fake in a wonderful way.
Yeah.
But no, I had a zit on my face and then put off shaving for a few days, and then my
Mm.
wife was very excited that I was growing a beard. So I was like, okay, it had
Here
gotten
we
long
are.
enough that I had to go through with a shaver with a guard to get it down from like
Mhm.
Russian
man.
novelist length.
Open up chat. Yeah, I
Oh,
played
yeah.
two games while I was at the gaming convention.
Oh yeah.
not on this, but on other folks' things, and it went pretty well. It was pretty good. Hotel Wi-Fi is remarkably good for streaming. It turns out,
Hooray.
even the free don't pay an extra $10 a day one. Better than my home Wi-Fi, in fact. Oh.
This tab. Okay. New tab.
One of these days, I'm gonna get Sparky and run an Ethernet cable in here, but then I'd have to get a computer with Ethernet on it. So
Did you get like a dongle or a card or something?
yeah, I have a Mac from it's about 4 years old, and it has two USB ports.
Oh yeah, that's where my
And-
Mac Mini is at.
Yeah, and so it's like, well, I have a little little dock extender thing, which gives me some USB A or whatever the big fat ones are, so I can like plug in that and power into that, and then a monitor, and then a microphone and a camera. And that I'm full up. Yeah, so, I might think about getting a new Mac soon. Just I feel like it's about time. This one turns into a hovercraft anytime. Trying to do anything with it.
I have the 2018 Mac Mini, which I think was the last one that you could upgrade the memory on. So I now have a Mac Mini with like 64 gig of memory that is handling all of my work stuff. And then everything else, I'm just using a PC.
I almost feel like trying PC again at some point, but the last Windows machine I used was Windows XP.
XP,
So, yeah.
okay.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, I find myself, I think I mentioned before how I have Windows and I have auto hotkey running over it and like all sorts of customizations to make it not suck.
Yep.
I have a feeling like my OS preferences are like my version of Windows, normal Mac OS, normal Windows.
That sounds about right. Let's see, how much does it say on the character sheet? So this is Down We Go. It is a super light OSR-ish type game. Just like straight up dungeon crawly stuff.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that it's a bit of a funnel, which means that characters may die early and often, but they're very quick to create. And so we can just throw together some more. I like the character keeper, which is bucks the trend of most character keepers in that each page, each sheet is its own character.
Oh yeah.
So to make a character, duplicate that sheet, and yeah, get it on.
I don't think I have duplication privileges on this guy.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, yep. Everyone can view. Let's make everyone can edit. Yeah. Done. Okay, cool. You should be able to duplicate now.
Let me try it. Reload. There we go. Delete. No, duplicate.
Yeah. So basically, instead of classes in here, there are roles. Basically, there's sneaky, mystical, holy, and bloodthirsty. And starting characters put 2 levels in one role or 1 level in 2 roles. And you can eventually, get as many as you want from as many as you want. The role that you have the highest level in, or your choice if it's a tie, determines how many hit points you have.
Oh no.
Which is fun. And so you can make like a guy that has like rage and also invisibility, or you can pick
okay.
blocks or turn undead, or you can just be like a badass, one of the others.
So am I just kind of clicking 2 of the boxes here? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What? Ooh, custom.
Custom. Yeah, so that's basically when you get all 6 abilities for what would you level 6 in one of the roles, then you make up an appropriate 7th level one. I don't think we're gonna get that far today. In fact, I guarantee it.
Are those abilities in order, or can you choose any?
Nope, you can pick whichever ones you like.
What has Ben picking? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you have any feelings, Peter, about your playing style today?
I don't know. The ones that strike me as the most interesting are the ones least likely to be useful.
Amazing. It is very likely you'll get a chance to make more characters. So.
Cool. I just see divination, ask deity, get answer to 1 question, and I'm like,
why?
It's like, well, it's my daily cry of pain.
Min-maxing, I see no way this can be useful narratively, although that's not a narrative game. It's like, ooh.
In fact, why don't each of you go ahead and start with 2 characters, just to make it easier when the inevitable happens. I think this keeper is really well put together in that it calculates your hits and the hit and defense numbers automatically from the buttons you click. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, I'm giving myself 1 sneaky guy with backstab and acrobatics.
Nice.
Peter and anti-Peter. Okay. Yes, I was going to say copy of Ben. I like the names on the. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I made 1 sneaky guy. I could just play 2 sneaky guys. That would be kind of fun.
Whoops, all assassins.
That works in Demio, so I see no reason.
I know.
Oh, they've added new features to Demio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget what it is, but last time I launched it, they had a big release note about, I think, new stuff for the Heroes Hangout.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 1 mystical guy.
Oh, cool.
Just totally mystical.
Let's see. I'll grab Holy, I guess.
Yeah. I think my second guy will be 1 holy and 1 bloodthirsty, and I'll just say he's a god of blah blah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, all those 6s? That's what I did wrong. All those 6s should be the number of level. I guess I was playing around with it when.
Oh no.
So there we go. That looks much better. There. I'll go through and fix that.
Cool. Turn undead. Heal. Oh man. Might.
0 sneaky there. Holy, look at you. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay.
There we go. I'm not 6th level and everything.
Fix that up. Yeah, I think I munged up the character keeper when I made a copy of it. So,
I know nothing of what that is like.
and the value passes on to you. The other
Okay.
interesting thing is that so if you have you get a number of uses for each of those skills per day. So like you can do if you're a level 2 sneaky, you can backstab twice a day and do acrobatics twice a day, which means
Okay.
that if you're level 6, you can do each of those 6 times per day. Like at
I'm
will,
noticing
basically.
that my holy character has 0 uses per day, so I guess.
Oh, that should be a 2. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to auto populate, but sometimes things break. Ooh, a sneaky bloodthirsty. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, this is the game. I have a mech game that is in pre-release called Dragon's Fire, based on
Oh, yeah,
Mobius comics, and this anime called Dragon's Heaven, which is looks like it was drawn by Mobius, but it was not. Then you're all you're giant mechs going into this like surreal nightmare world to fight off whatever the nightmare things are, and so it's the same kind of thing, except the role you have is the kind of mech that you drive. So you can get those abilities. That was pretty fun so far.
Oh, we
And
have
I made-
Alicia the Phoenix watching us today.
Hey, it's Alicia the Phoenix. Yeah, I made the mistake of making 6 instead of 4, so I think it's probably a terrible design decision from a productivity standpoint, but here we are.
Oh no.
Cool. Yeah. So let's see. Or to hit is calculated from bloodthirsty. Defense is calculated from sneaky. Looks like that is working correct. Pretty much, it's anytime you need to do a thing that falls under one of the rolls, you will roll d20 plus the level you have in that roll, and then you want to hit a 15, or you don't do it, or bad things happen. Combat is basically, initiative is 50-50 each turn. Bad guys go first. You guys go first. Kind of like Mercorg or Cyborg. Attacking is with bloodthirsty. Defending is with your sneaky. Yeah, that's it. You don't the enemies don't roll to hit, you roll to defend against attacks. So that's nice,
Oh,
nice
man.
and quick. And we probably won't be leveling up. So that's that. Cool. And the rest is just so pick you can pick some stuff at the beginning too. Let me see in that. Start with a basic weapon and some normal adventuring gear of your choosing. And you can carry 10 things. If you choose to have some armor, that will let you reroll 1 defense once per dungeon. If you choose a sweet weapon, that'll let you inflict 1 extra damage once per dungeon. And shields and helms can be marked off to negate damage from 1 attack before it breaks.
Okay. So I can give my sneaky guy some armor and a dagger or something.
Yeah.
And no limitations.
Not really, within normal reason. GM reserves the right to say no spaceships.
Oh.
I don't know what acrobatic silks are exactly, but I know that my sneaky guy has them.
Excellent. Yeah, that's that. There's a whole like central city that's kind of shifting and weird. It's really cool that we may or may not get to. And we'll start at the adventure. Yeah, there's a bunch of like extra stuff that requires playing a bunch to get to, but looks fun in the long run. We may or may not get to it today. One of the other fun things is there's a lore as loot thing. So basically, you get to. I'll ask you to come up with some rumors about stuff that could be found in the dungeon, and I'll roll a d6 to see how true that is, and go from there.
Oh man.
And also, the dungeons are kind of random, which is nice. So we're going into the something tomb, but I don't know what the tomb
Oh
is going to
no.
be yet. So that'll be a good time. In fact, let me roll that now. Roll a d4. Yeah. Also, the Zoom the OSB overlay thing will allow me to put the dice roller on the thing, so everyone can share in the suspense with us. Cool. It looks like all right. It looks like today's adventure is going into the infected tomb.
Oh no.
Yikes. Great. So y'all are treasure seeking thugs who have come from the city of Infinopolis, driven by some rumors to get some sweet stuff from a tomb. Grave robbers, I think, is the word for that. So I would like to know from, I guess, just each player, each character doesn't need to answer. What kinds of pencil? What kinds of? I have 1 billion writing implements, and none of them are at my desk. Okay, cool. That's what computers are for, I guess.
Oh, sorry.
What kind of rumors did you hear about the stuff that was in the infected tomb that led you to come here?
That the supernatural source of the infection lies within.
Nice. That is valuable to you for somehow.
Yeah, I think maybe the plan is to get it and then ransom to stop the plague.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I will say the tomb is the dead body of a roach god, and its heart has great power.
Nice. I love it. Let's see. Yeah. Roll some d6s to see what that looks like. Pretty good. It's not bad. Great. Cool. So let me get back over here. So they call this the infected tomb, clearly, probably because of the body of a roach god is the rumored origin of it. It's set. What kind of landscape is it set in? The entrances to the tomb.
Oh, I had to hit on it. I want it to. Just perversely, I want it to be like a very refined and arranged flower garden near the palaces.
Awesome.
Like,
I love it.
They've artfully arranged it as best as they can to make it seem like there's not a pathway into darkness.
Yeah. So these palaces were kind of built around the tomb. And do their best to hide the infection, but the flowers, like the flowers wilt before the season's over. They have to like constantly replant it to get them. And maybe this is also like maybe the the inhabitants of these palaces are like, anyone who wants to go down there and fix this for us, we would be extremely grateful for that. Love it.
So we're basically gardeners.
Yeah, you're basically gardeners / grave robbers. Cool. So there are there's actually two entrances to the tomb. One is in a like in the middle of a actual flower garden, and the gardens are kind of tiered as so as to hide the entrance to this, and you are given the tour of the grounds and shown like these are behind here. None who go down return, so we tend to just ignore it. And the other entrance is actually it's in a greenhouse not too far away, but the greenhouse is all the like the glass is all broken out, it's all boarded up, so it's more of just a house. And the entrance to the other entrance to the tomb is just a stairway that leads down inside there. So pretty gnarly.
Do we have to worry about anything like light sources here? Or
yeah, I think having light sources would probably be a good idea.
Time to add items to the gear.
Yeah, and as per like bringing more story game-ish into it, if there is something that you clearly would bring as adventuring gear, we'll give everyone like 3 shots to say like, oh yeah, and I have brought this, so don't worry about like writing down every single thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Torch.
Of course, I brought my portable water desalination plant. Okay, who are these characters?
Cursed dagger, really cursed robes.
Cool. Which entrance were you thinking of heading down into?
I don't know. Let's see. Hi, how are you all? Is what we hear from Alicia the Phoenix.
They're great.
I kind of like going down, personally, I kind of like going down the main entrance, the one in the flower garden itself, just because that would probably cause the most disturbance to the people there. It's like they probably wanted us to use the entrance in the greenhouse and just stay out of the way.
Awesome. Let's go and introduce our characters as they go as down we go.
Descend into ruin.
Yeah, let's just go character keeper order with Captain. Start with Captain Flip.
Captain Flip. Captain Flip is the sneaky one with backstab ability to inflict level hits if attacked from behind, and then acrobatics for impressive feats of agility. I have him decked out in leather armor, carrying a dagger. He has his acrobatic silks, sealed letters of passage, and a duck whistle.
Awesome.
I'm not going to regret having just random shit in the backpack.
And who's your holy guy?
The holy guy is Cleric Gelm. He's obsidian robes, a birch staff, a basic apothecarial kit, a falconer's glove, sort of a bird theme going on here, and just added a torch. His abilities are bless, give level targets plus level on 1 roll, and heal to
nice.
Yeah, there are the mechanics for that I haven't looked at closely. So generic cleric sort of thing. I skipped giving him divination, the ability to ask a question of God.
Fair. Cool. Ben, tell me a little bit about Prazu.
Okay. Prazu is mystical, classic robes, wasted constitution from a dark past, which he'll just talk about at the drop of a hat. Yes, and he has a cursed dagger, really cursed robes, his magic tome, and an everfull feather pen to write down the disasters that he witnesses, but that always somehow miss him, I guess,
Nice.
with his two hit points. Yeah.
And Umrix.
Umrix is my acrobatic, bloodthirsty swashbuckler. He's a pirate without a ship.
Yar.
He has a ribbon shirt. Maybe actually, yeah, we should have like a flag with a death's head on it. I'll just add that. Yes, he's got a rapier, a main gosh, and another gosh just in case.
All the goshes.
Yeah. Or
One
I
for
guess.
each man.
Yeah, that's more of a Prazu thing, like a secret third arm, maybe. Yeah.
I know you both have acrobatics, which is totally cool.
But
You're a little traveling troupe of acrobatics here. Great. Awesome.
if it comes down to a dance off.
I was gonna say we just graduated from some improv college.
Oh,
Cool. I'm going to be making some rolls to see what we have down here. Behind my super secret DM screen on the roller that I'm
What?
using.
There's a dragon on it.
Cool. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. All right. Cool. So tell me your, if you have a marching order, who's going down first. And so these are steps. There's a big stone cover that they is pried away with, levered away with sticks. And as soon as just cracks open
Very loudly.
the stench of this place just almost knocks you over. But you are hardy grave robbers and are no stranger to bad smells. And you're able to suppress your gag reflex for the moment as the stone stairs down into the darkness beckon you into the grossness.
Oh, I should update my names as well.
Otherwise, I will just forget. I'll just be like, oh, like which character am I on?
Yeah.
Ben 1, Ben 2. There we go.
I don't feel like my sneakier holy guys would be in front, but I'm open to having my mind changed on that.
Yeah, I mean, Umrix is bloodthirsty, not terribly smart. So he will certainly be willing to go down first.
Does he have a torch on him?
I could hand one over.
Well, no, that's it. Like, yeah, like he'll start to walk down and be like, you'll need a light.
It's a little dark down there.
Yeah, Gilm has a torch. I can pass that.
Wow, what is this? This is super gross. Okay. Yeah, and the stairs go down for a ways and kind of twist a little bit. And as the light from the entrance fades, you can hear them scraping the stone back in place after you.
Oh.
You can probably signal to get out.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps this is also why no one's returned.
Everyone survived. They were just never let back out.
Yeah, so the stairs lead around down into a relatively standard 10-foot hallway, and the sort of like acrid bile stench is getting stronger and stronger and stronger as you go down. You can see that it opens into a larger room, and there's your torches cast shadows, and you can see a large shape, maybe a statue of some kind in the middle of this a 20-ish by 20-ish room. That's just sort of like this a large lump that's almost looks like a person twice as large as a normal person, kind of sitting on the ground with their arms over their knees. And it's clearly where the smell is coming from. And it's kind of from it looks like from the top, it's almost like a fountain. From the top, it's just like oozing this, it's shiny as far as you can tell from where you're at. Not going into the room yet, but it's looks super gross. And you can actually hear kind of like the like little almost as if like boils were forming and popping constantly on this thing. You can see another passage leading off to the left, but yeah, that's what you see ahead of you. How would you like to approach?
Sorry, were there any other passages out of this room?
Yeah, there's a passage to the left.
Okay.
It's like, on the one hand, I really don't want to go into the disease room. On the other, we're going to kill these characters eventually. So
You chose to go into the disease dungeon, so
yeah, so would be sort of on brand and in character to go. But I could also see the logic to
yeah.
going around first.
Yeah, Umrix is perhaps put off by this, but
Right, yeah.
Prazu will go closer to investigate and fiddle with some bag of vials. He's like, oh, maybe I'll take a sample here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let me make another little roll here. Oh, that's great. Okay, that's actually really good for you. So as tell me more about what you're doing as your approach.
I assume so. We've all adventured before, so someone is holding a light so that Prazu, I guess, can see, but probably not getting too close. As
Geln has a torch.
Yeah, like yeah, just taking a vial and trying to hold it up to the statue to catch any gore or pus that runs out of it.
Nice.
If there's anything. Like classic,
so as
like stick and vial.
As you do, so this is it is a large figure of a it's again like almost like a low poly, like a really blocky statue of a man. And as you kind of approach with your vial, the head of it sort of sloshes up, and there's two where there would be eyes, two kind of like boils pop out, and then just like explode on you, and you can see some intelligence behind it, and the hands sort of reach out, palms up, and says, what are you doing?
Could I have Geln pop in and start hyping up Prazu?
Absolutely.
This is the mightiest wizard of the entire land. He is gathering information because this is how he has learned and gained the respect of all researchers and libraries in every monastery you could encounter. That is what he is doing.
And like the voice is just like gurgling through blood almost, but pus instead of blood. It's just like this thick, mucusy voice. Like most people just ask questions. Why have you given yourself to this place?
Yeah. Well, I think Prazu will just be interested in this and probably say like, "Oh, interesting. This thing is talking." And Umrix will also take on a hype man role.
Oh no.
Like we'll do like a flip in the air.
Oh,
Uh,
God. All right, flip.
should I roll for that or?
Oh no, no.
Yeah, and um, yes, we are here, or I'm here to test myself against this dungeon. Flippy flip, knives out, very showy. Assuming this thing can even see. Yeah.
You wish to test yourself against the children of the plague. Hmm. You're a fool, you know that?
It was about to just like
I think Flip is trying to sneak around along the wall with his dagger to get behind the statue. And probably doing needless acrobatics of his own. Going from like one shadiest spot to another.
It's like many have come. Like the big, like a deep, gurgly voice almost sounds disappointed. Like many have come before you, and none have passed back after leaving this way. Go home. Go home and become fat and live well and leave this place to rot.
I think Prazu is just like poking with his testing.
And I think Geln is like, how dare you insult Prazu with such talk? He is
Like,
the greatest wizard.
let me get a bloodthirsty check from Prazu. So it'll be D20, and you want to hit a 15.
Okay. I think it's 4.
All right. It's got like these, like the hands are the size of your torso, kind of, and it just wraps one hand around the arm that you're poking it with, and it feels like it feels like you've stuck your arm into a vat of lukewarm stew.
Ooh.
And it's about the same consistency. It just feels bad. But it's holding it in there. Why are you bothering me?
Oh, no.
What? Can't you just leave me alone? Why do you always try to bother me? And he lifts Prazu up with one arm and stands, and like it's kind of, the ceilings are maybe about a dozen feet tall here, and as it stands, it kind of like hunches over a little bit so it doesn't bump its head on the ceiling, and it just it's not like aggressive, it just sort of like curiously lifts up Prazu by the arm just so your feet are kicking a little bit off the ground. Like, why do you always insist on bothering me? I've done nothing to you. What do you want? Really?
Peter, should we should we try to get past the first room, or just like
we're just gonna sit down and rap for a little while?
I kind of feel like, yeah, I don't know if this breaks anything, but like, could Flip give up on being in the shadows and say, all right, sir, we understand. This was a big misunderstanding. We'll just go back the way we came. Clearly you don't want us bothering you. So if you'll just release Prazu for us.
And he drops Prazu.
Thanks. Back this way.
I would like to ask you a favor.
Oh no.
Can I go with you? This is a terrible place. So many people coming in and bothering me. I just want to go live peacefully somewhere.
I think Flip immediately is just like, yeah, yeah, absolutely. We'll just have to beat a few times to get them to open the stone thing, but
And
this is all good.
it pulls itself up to like its full height as much as possible given the room, and where it's standing, the earth, the stone of the earth has kind of like worn away into a depression, and just like the bile dripping from his body has corroded this depression, and it kind of like almost as if for the first time in a very long time, they're like sloshes its leg out of it and steps on the solid ground and kind of like tests it a little bit, and still hunched over and just motions to the stairway after you.
Yeah, and I think Flip is like, this is perfectly normal, is his attitude. He leads the way back up the stairs. I don't know if anybody's gonna come with him, or I think Gelm is like waiting to see what Prazu does with this.
Yeah, I mean the first thing Prazu does is like tells Umrix to stop flipping around. He's just like, he's still in the background doing stuff, flashing his knives.
Hey, ha. Great. Yeah, if you're gonna go back up the stairs, it's like it is, it is a pretty like what do you want to call it? Not plastic. It's pretty malleable, and so it's able to squeeze itself into the hallway behind you. So it completely fills the stairwell behind you, and it's kind of like, it's almost like a piston as you like as you come up to the stone covering the entrance. It's just like compressed stench, and very, very difficult to
breathe.
Keep your eyes from watering. Pounding on the stone,
I think so. Yeah.
And
it gets closer and closer to you.
You hear a voice outside that just kind of mockingly says, "Back so soon, cowards!"
And I think Flip is immediately, we found treasure immediately, and this must simply be seen to be believed.
Have you found the heart of the roach god to end this plague?
That's what I found. Yes. It's in my hands even now.
And there's a pause, and you can hear some muttered voices.
But if you want to tell everybody in the court that, oh yes, I just left it down there to be sucked back into the earth, never to be seen again. You make your own choices up there.
Amazing.
Flip is terrible.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah. And there's a muttering and a pause. All right. And you hear your eyes are hurt by the daylight just a little bit.
Right.
And you like the sound of, like, these guys are there's 4 guys with poles. And you saw them, but they're kind of like pole arms, and they use the blunt end to pry these away, and they have like just kind of crappy spears on the end. And even though like these are the keepers of the infected tomb, and they are used to opening this up occasionally, even they reel back at just the density of stench coming out of here. Good God, what have you done? They pry it back, and you see their faces looking down, and one of them reaches down, and just before you're able to grab his hand, him just go white with terror. What do you do?
I think. What does Flip do in this scenario?
Yeah.
I think Flip is trying to keep up the charade that everything is normal and this is according to their plan. Like, yes, I understand that the smell is a bit much, but this is simply what it takes to draw the heart out of. Well, you'll see. And then he's immediately like trying to walk past them.
Like, what is that thing behind you? And immediately, like, they flip their spears around, and there's like they're pointing just down into the hole where you are.
Oh, so I'm not out of the hole.
No, yeah, they're
Okay.
they're still like, what devil have you brought to us?
This is not a devil.
I'm not a devil.
See?
Let me introduce you to our good friend. What was your name again?
Yes, this is our friend. What was like tries to get the name of the guy.
I was never given a name.
Of course. This is Garvin.
And they're like at this point just like kind of poking back down into the hole with their spears.
Oh God, no. Let's see. Can I do any acrobatics to try and get out of the?
Oh, absolutely. And this
Okay.
would definitely call for a sneaky roll. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna try and grab one of the spears and use it to leverage myself out of the hole around them.
Amazing. So that's a d20 plus 2 to get a 15.
Okay, we'll see what happens. I'll give it my best shot. +2, roll 21.
Oh yeah. Tell me what that looks like.
Like I was saying, I think Flip immediately grabs the nearest pole arm, leverage or pulls himself up by it, and then probably in the process, like as assuming that the guard is still gripping it and has been pulled down a bit, uses his back to springboard off of, and then just dart into the shadows immediately.
Little Return of the Jedi action. But yeah. Awesome. And yeah, he is. Did you take it, or did you just like flip off of it?
I think if this is a 21, I guess that means I have his full arm.
Yeah, I think before he even noticed what he's just like, and the bile golem is starting to push its way out of the thing. What are the rest of you doing?
Well, I think yeah, Prazu was definitely just observing for a while. It's like interesting.
And Galen is like just patterning his behavior of what Prasu is doing. Yeah.
Can we talk around the golem, or is it just like it's?
I think at this point it's trying to push its way past you to get outside. But yeah, tell me what you want to do.
Oh, are we all in the stairwell up out of there, or what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it is trying to like,
like
it is behind you, sort of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, herding you out, and the guard, the three remaining guards are like,
no.
like one of y'all flipped past them, and I think they're startled for the moment. So you have a chance to do some stuff.
I think Umrix will take that as a professional challenge.
Oh no.
And try to do some acrobatics, like yeah. So
amazing. Yeah, give it a go.
1d20
sneaky plus sneaky. Yeah.
1.
Yeah, and you're looking for a 15.
Oh no.
That's a 12. Yeah. So I think yikes. Yeah. So I think this means that this one saw what happened to his buddy, and it's like, nope, that's not gonna do. And as you like trying to flip forward, he just lunges forward with a spear.
Oh, no.
And catches you for 1 point of damage.
No.
Is that how we mark it?
Yeah.
Mark, just click one of those boxes.
Yeah. Okay.
Next to Mexico.
Cool. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, so like tried to pull the spear and just like pulled it into himself. Like, oh.
Yeah. Oh god, fuck. And the other two are trying to poke at the remaining.
Oh,
Two.
no.
So can I have the other two in the stairwells do a defense roll, which is plus sneaky?
That would be +0 for me. 1 moment.
19 for Prazu.
Ooh, good one.
20 for Gelm.
Awesome.
Natural 20 for Gelm.
Ooh. Which one was that?
Huh?
The
cleric?
Gelm. Yeah. Tell me how Gelm avoids being hit. with the
God,
spear.
it's got to be like a Mr. Bean, like Mr. Hulot sort of thing, where it's not any skill on his part, but just some incredible and random piece of luck, I think.
Mhm.
Let's see. I think. Oh man, I'm trying to think of what is good enough to merit a 20 here.
Well, I think the additional thing that's going to happen is that however you sidestep the spear, the golem is going to pull it and pull the guy just into him and suffocate him on his gross body.
Yeah, because I would imagine some sort of like Jackie Chan sort of thing where the spear appears and he brandishes his staff and there's some sort of clack, 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 and suddenly the guard has the staff and he has the and Geln has the and he's just like puzzled over that, and then finally Geln's just like whack, 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 just like literally like this, like wielding the pole arm, and it's enough to trip up.
Yeah, maybe like you're doing this and you kind of switch places.
Oh,
at which point the golem just like grabs him from behind.
Okay, yeah.
Squeezes his head and just like shoves his head into his body, and the arms and legs are kind of flailing around. Drop the spear until it eventually goes limp and just like slides off as the caustic fluids just ate away the guy's head, and the rest of them just slide off. And I think that's enough. Like tell me how was it Umrix that dodged the other one, or was it Prazu?
19.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll say I've decided that Prazu's cursed robes are somewhat alive and want to die. So as he walks out, they like try to get in the way of the spear, attracting their attention, allowing him to like walk out.
Nice.
like they billow out to enfold him in darkness, but what they're actually trying to do is like get as many spears as they can.
The spears to me.
So the other guy's spear is entangled in your Doctor Strange cloak.
Because the cloak yearns for death that strongly.
Love it. I think that's enough to get the let the golem go get past you, just like ooze past you, and it doesn't have eyes, but you see like more boils kind of like bubble and pop where its head would be. So it's kind of like instead of turning its head to look around, it's like eye forms over here, eye forms over here, eye forms over here, black. And the flowers on the trellises around this entrance just like they don't even wilt. They're when you put too much chemical fertilizer on a plant, they just kind of like get brown and curl up, just like both from the spatters from its eye boils and the stench. And so there's the 3 guards, one with no head, or 4 guards, one with no head, one with a spear tangled up, and
one with no spear.
Yeah, one with no spear, and the boss golem is out and is like looking to make a break for it.
I think, let's see, is there a place for the golem to make a break too?
Oh yeah, it can just like, it's gonna head out as soon as it can.
Yeah, because I could see Flip just like opening a door, like kind of, there you go.
Yeah, I see this is kind of like outdoors. And
Oh,
just like
okay,
the trellises
Yeah,
are
like a
around.
courtyard.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think at this point the guards are too horrified by this 12-foot tall pile of bile popping and pussing around. And it
And
just
eating their
looks,
coworker.
yeah, I think it just looks at you and says, "Thank you. I'm going to find someplace safe." And like starts like making its way for the castle walls.
Most
And,
heartwarming start to an adventure I've seen.
and the remaining guards are just like, you know what? I am not paid enough for this.
Have
I'm
you
not going
thought
to get my
about joining
idea.
the adventuring party?
Nope, that sounds worse. If that was the first thing, that was the first thing you found down there. I think I'm on my lunch break now.
They're like, but look at us, we're all healthy, and then there's like Umric's just like
His arm is.
got a spear in him. Just like,
But think of the treasure.
Fuck your treasure.
Oh man.
Yeah, you can hear the proceeding in the distance.
Distantly over a hillside, a silhouette.
Um,
And
all
so roll
right.
credits on
Roll credits done.
Gollum story. And then
it's like
we're in a spin-off now. I
that's a wrap for Gollum. Everyone claps. Okay.
I imagine the guards will return with reinforcements before too long, though. So, what's your next move?
Unless we kill them, is what I'm hearing.
I mean, this is. I'm wondering if we're going to empty out the dungeon by just like saying, like, guys, there's a world up there.
Yeah.
You can just leave anytime you want. Why are you here?
The door's open. Yeah, can we? I guess the guards are already gone. I was trying to figure out if there was some like forgetting spell we could hit them with.
Do you have a forgetting spell? Yeah, you're just a baby wizard.
Okay.
Ain't no narrative, just making up spells. They know
Right.
the game.
Fair. I don't know. I mean, in a gaming perspective, I'd want to kill the guards, but I don't feel like either of my guys feels motivated to do them any damage.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Prazu will definitely want to learn more about this bile golem.
Oh yeah, you can definitely, like, there's plenty of sample material around if you wish to collect some. You can mark that down.
We've created a super fun site.
Yeah. I think Umric's is like, Umric's like bleeding. Is like, aha, we've bested that challenge. Like, to the next test.
Oh no.
And we'll, yes, confidently go back down into the dungeon.
One pole arm richer.
Extra polar. Oh man. Cool. So if you head back down, that was the only thing in that room. Let me see if there's anything of note in there. Oh my god. Yeah. Are you gonna do anything else there? So there's the stairs down into that room. There's a doorway. There's the entrance to the left, and like that big ooze puddle in the middle there.
Is the ooze puddle? I mean, we have an extra spear here now, right? I think.
Yeah.
I have a pole arm. Captain Flip has a pole arm that he has no training with.
Yeah, it's about, it's a pool about like 6 or 8 feet in diameter, maybe a foot or 2 deep, and it's still kind of like bubbles and sizzles. You can tell it's probably not great to stick your arm in there, but you can definitely poke around with your pole arm.
Yeah.
And who's poking around with the pole arm?
I guess Captain Flip has the pole arms. So.
Okay, cool. You definitely, like, when you stick the pole arm down there, it kind of like smokes and sizzles a little bit. But there is something at the bottom, and you can kind of nudge it out of there. It's and when you get it out, it is it's actually a big old bound book that when you pull it out, the ooze just kind of just rolls off of it as if it's resistant to that liquid somehow. Hydrophobic book, oozophobic book.
All right.
And although when the ooze rolls off of it, it does like leave little sizzle spots in the ground. The book itself seems to be relatively untouched.
Free book.
Free book.
I mean, Prazu will jump at that if no one else.
Oh yeah, I think Gelm is just like, Prazu, what book is this?
Yeah, Prazu. What book did you hear might be down here?
The Tome of the Unforgiven Heart.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. And what terrible power would the Tome of the Unforgiven Heart confer upon someone who read it?
Oh no.
I want to say like cloning with hive minds, like duplicating yourself but sharing the same consciousness.
Awesome. Great. And from your inspection, you're pretty sure this is this matches the description of the legends.
No.
Interesting.
So you can stash that or take a flip through it as you do other stuff, or convince the others to have a book club party.
Okay.
So what would you like to do next?
Are there any? Can we, I guess, do a quick search of the rest of the room? I assume there's nothing else in here.
Yeah, there's not much of note. It's it's about 20 feet in. It's square-ish, but it's badly, as if the golem had made the rounds occasionally, and it's the stones are kind of worn and softened all over. And there's not, if there was anything here before, it would have been long digested.
Minimalist. Okay.
Through the left.
Yeah, I think Gelm really wants to take the left passage, but is not going
Yeah.
to take the initiative, so he's being kind of passive aggressive. Like, hey, Prazu, what do you think is behind that other passage?
Nice. Amazing. Yeah. So this it goes down a ways, and you can actually see light down at the end of it. Not as bright as torchlight, but definitely a fire source of some kind. And the stone walls seem a bit more well constructed as you get away from the ooze golem room. And it actually feels like this was clearly built to be a tomb of some kind, but it seems a little bit more suited to the living here. And in fact, when you come up, there's an opening into a larger area, and there are niches in the wall that would have held you would see the desiccated bodies lying in them, but they are actually filled with books and lit candles that sitting on large molten wax lumps. And there's a few tables. This is a relatively large room. And there's another exit on each of the walls, including the one you came on, not the north one, the south northeast, in addition to the one that you entered from. And there are several long tables with long books and a heap of robes sort of slumped over one of the tables on some books. And otherwise, the room is completely filled with some of them look like they may be magical texts in the sense of like history or research, but nothing enchanted as far as you can tell.
When you say a heap of robes, do you mean like when your parents had a party and you brought all the coats?
Every
to the
wizard
bed?
just
like
like
that?
It does look like a coat pile. Yeah.
Okay.
okay. Oh man.
Yeah.
I think Flip just casually pokes the pole arm at the pile.
Ah! Flips up. We had a deal. Who the fuck are you? Who are you?
Pretend.
You can't have my books.
Pretend.
What?
Are you playing pretend?
Yes.
Okay.
There's no burglars.
Sorry. Yeah, and I think Flip immediately before he even has a chance to think is like, it's okay, I can explain. as he has no idea what he's going to tell this person.
And this is a man who he leaps up on the table, but he is maybe 4 feet tall and is like mostly beard, long gray beard, and just huddled, like covered up in these robes.
Man.
And just like shaking a finger at you, like, what did you come for? And just like looking, like grabs a book and like almost like threatening to say, you cannot have my tomes.
Of course, no. I mean, we don't want the tomes. It's the guards who are coming down who might take your tomes.
Oh, you can tell them to go to hell too. Get out of my library.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Prazu is probably not heard any of this. Is just like looking through the books. Have it, read it, and that's no good.
The sequel is okay, but this.
Like, wait. Like, why are the guards going down? Are you the new guards? Who are?
What? No. No, the guards are from the castles above the entrance. They had a little bit of a disturbance up at the top of the steps. Nothing we need to worry about, but they may come down and investigate. So just.
Well, why would they come down here though? They hate this place.
I know, right? Their jobs just kind of suck, don't they? So they might have seen something come up the stairs and they're a little worried, or I don't know exactly, but there was an altercation, and sometimes soldiers get mad about that.
The creature left?
Maybe. What's the creature?
Did one of those fools leave the stone off the? Is the stone? Is the entrance? Is it? Does the castle stand?
Yes. The castle is very sturdy. I can't imagine anything would have destroyed it in the last few 20 minutes or so. Yeah.
And the creature is gone.
Yeah.
And the stone has been rolled away.
Also, yes.
Ah! And he like runs under the table and gets like a backpack almost as big as he is. He's like, yes, and grabs this, and grabs that, and this one. I can't. Which you looking at the books? Herbs or mushrooms?
Herbs, of course.
Herbs, of course. What an idiot! And throws a couple books from that section in. It's like, I'm still. Did the creature take anything with it?
No.
Prazu like coughs and like shoves the book.
Oh no! I mean, it didn't take a thing. It didn't take an entire guard.
It ate one of them.
The most of it, yeah.
And he does this wicked little dance and claps.
Oh.
Did robbers come through here regularly, but one stole one of my
Oh.
most precious tomes
Oh, robbers are the worst.
and then was eaten by the creature. Did you happen to see anything in the other room?
I'm gonna say Umrix, who's only been half paying attention or half following. He's been trying to pay attention, but has not been following. This is like, wait, do you have a quest to give us? A challenge?
And meanwhile, like Flip is just guiltily looking at his pole arm. Like,
the tome that was in my possession is most strange and powerful, and not just knowledge, but wizardry itself within. It cannot be harmed by man or creature, and yet it can be stolen. I was a fool to let them leave with whatever they found inside, but they took my own as well.
did we
No
see
matter.
a book or that anything? Ring any bells?
I'm trying to decide how dumb Umrix is. Yeah, no, yeah, I think Umrix will start to say something like, "Oh, yeah, didn't we?" And, like, until he gets like his foot stomped on by Prazu, but like Prazu's so weak and frail, he's just like
Stopping as hard as he can,
Nothing.
like a Mr. Burns lick.
I think one of them is going to need to make a sneaky roll to keep from revealing the truth.
Well, I'll give that to Umrix as a like. Oh, right, yes.
Invent something else he was about to say.
8. Oh,
8.
yes, that's right.
You idiot! What did you say? You found my book? You found any book? Tell me show me what you found.
Prazu will reach into his garment and pull out a vial of the golem bile.
I don't need your piss bottles. I need my book.
Let's say how to phrase this to. Yes, Umrix will be like, how can we say this so that what we say is true?
Oh
no. Yes, and I think Prazu will just say like, no, we didn't find anything.
And Geln is going to back him up by saying, and Prazu wouldn't need anything from any of your books, no matter how magical they were. That's how amazing Prazu is.
He hops down off the table and kind of stomps up to Geln. Just looks up at him, like tiny little twinkling eyes. It's like, you're a holy man, aren't you? You wouldn't lie to an old man, would you? No harm will come to you if you just hand over my book.
I think at this point, Geln is a holy man and does not lie. And so he's like, yes, we found the tome of the unforgiven heart. Prazu has it right now. I'm sorry, Prazu. I can't.
Prazu, which one is Prazu?
He's the amazing one.
And he stomps over to you. He stomps his little foot.
Finders keepers.
Oh no.
Yes. I don't know. Would
Do
Prazu
you
be more-
know what lies within those pages?
Uh,
Idiot.
Geln is just shocked, speechless.
Yes.
At this affront to Prazu.
I know more than you, fool.
Ooh,
And-
wizard off, wizard off, wizard off.
And your name was
Prazu.
Pasu?
This is Prazu Ebonmaw, great
Prazu
light
Ebonmaw.
of Ebonmaw's Maw
And
path.
He digs through his oversized backpack and
Oh.
pulls out a big fucking, like, slams it down like on the table. rustles around for a little stick of a pencil, basically. The Prazu Ebenmaw.
Oh, no.
Puts it back in his bag. Herbs indeed. Mushrooms.
Oh, no.
I have your name in my book. And when you find your doom, my tome will find its way back to me. Like struggles into the backpack and like it lifts just like an inch or two off the ground. Looks back at you. Spits on the ground.
And then,
Grave robbers.
oh, no.
Stomps out into the other room.
So yeah, Umrix will be like, so there's no quest.
After a long pause.
The quest is to give me my book back, idiot. Yeah, and all the other books here are, as Prazu can tell, relatively banal or useless. You came in through the west wall, the north entrance on the west wall. There's another rougher looking entrance just to the side of that, and then another larger hallway off to the south, and another one off to the east. So to the right and straight ahead for y'all.
Oof.
Obviously, we should split up, but
That would cover everything faster. Oh, man. Can we try the east door?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
there's
it's
door.
it's an open
archway.
hallway. Yeah, but you can see down the hall. It does end at a door, so you could go down the southern one. Is another hallway that you hear quite a bit of commotion in the dark down there.
wait, sorry, southern is commotion.
Eastern
west
is
the
quiet,
hallway.
and then there's a rough one.
Yeah, there's a rougher one to the west.
Well, I mean, Umrix will be drawn to the southern, but he will defer to.
I kind of like we maybe Flip starts heading east, but then Umrix is just charging south, and everybody has to kind of go along in his wake, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot. Okay.
Is that
So you're heading south?
that is my vote.
Yeah.
So it's again another longish hallway, not as long as the one that brought you to the library here, or to the tomb turned library. And as you approach, the commotion you heard was so you can see it is not full darkness, but it is almost bioluminescence kind of lit from the ground, and there's a large, it's almost like a not like a almost like a shell turned on its side, coming out of the ground, and around it, kind of moving in two circles around it, are a 9-ish. They are shaped like men, and the
Yeah.
same size as men, but
men.
as it almost looks like they're wearing like long helmets, but as they process around this idol of some kind, you can see that is actually the shape of their head, and as they move with each step, little puffs come off of them, and they're not speaking, but there's kind of like a almost like a reedy sound coming from them as they circle around.
Okay, and they're circling around the shell, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry, how is this room lit? And can we see any?
There's like almost like a bioluminescent, almost like a dust on the ground.
Mhm. Can we see any other doorways on the other?
You can see another rough entrance to the south, like straight ahead,
Mhm.
and there's a doorway on the eastern wall to your left.
Let's see here.
Yeah, maybe Armrix starts to do something and Prazu just like stops him with all of his strength and like nods to Captain Flip, who at
Oh.
least can escape from spearmen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Flip has done one of his two uses, I guess.
Yeah.
I could have him try an acrobatics move to get past the guards to the shell.
That
But-
sounds more like you could just like sneak past them with that without
Okay.
using your ability there.
Yeah, I'm just like, do like, does the shell seem like something we want to steal, I guess, or
Yeah,
Or
so
is it-
you can actually get like almost into the entranceway of this room.
Mhm.
They seem to be focused on whatever this ritual or whatever they are is doing, and you can see it. It kind of looks like it's shell shaped,
Okay.
but you can see these kind of like ridges. You almost thought it was like a scallop, but it
Yeah.
actually looks like the bottom of a mushroom or fungus or something.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
probably 8 or 10 feet in radius.
Oh, okay,
8 or
so
10 feet in diameter.
can't steal it then.
You could
Like,
with some
not
time
with
and
that
effort
attitude.
pry it out of the ground, or cut it into smaller pieces. This was something that you were interested in getting your hands on, your
Right.
filthy, dirty little hands.
Serve it with an omelet. I don't know, like they haven't noticed us yet, I guess.
They've not
or-
noticed you yet. Yeah. They seem intent on whatever this procession is.
Yeah. Oh, this is terrible. I think Captain Flip is just going to greet them and ask them what they're up to.
Yeah, tell me how you do that.
Yeah, I think it's sort of banging his pole arm, or oh, he has a duck whistle. I think he just sort of blows that ceremoniously. And
Nice.
clears his throat and says, "Sirs, we require passage through these chambers. What ceremony are you proceeding with at the moment?"
And one of them actually peels off and comes face to face with you, and as they kind of approach into the torchlight, they're like mottled with bright yellow, green, pink, purple, and their heads are this fungus shape. And it's like almost
Oh.
like as if it was a mushroom cut in half in the face,
Yeah.
in the meaty part there, and with each step like little spores
Mhm.
puff from
Bad.
its head, and the rest of it is just like a sort of like the kind of like the flesh of a portobello, with little ridges and stuff growing off of it. It's not clothed, and it doesn't seem to be holding anything, and just carries its arms at its side. They're kind of like short little arms, like almost flippers.
Oh, no.
And it who is saying this?
That was Captain Flip.
Is Captain Flip, and it looks you up and down, and it's this high reedy kind of voice that kind of like puffs out, and you get a little smell of this spore. It's glowing, but it doesn't seem hostile. It's like more inquisitive, kind of looking you up and down, and after the other ones are still processing
Circling.
around.
Yeah.
And after a while, like looks at you and looks past at the others, kind of like looks you up and down, and they kind of like points its stubby little arm down the hallway, and it's kind of like a almost a questioning wheeze, like as like almost if it's like asking like,
Oh, yeah, the way
you
is
in here?
clear. Yeah, sorry.
Like are you you're like that guy down there, basically?
Oh, no, we're not associated with the guy down there. He's left, actually. So has the guy in the next room. Feels like people are kind of exiting generally from the tomb. And yes, we are just here to check up and make sure everyone's doing okay.
And it just like puts its stubby little flipper arms like kind of almost have it's like it's not pushing you away, but it's kind of like putting its arms back, like this isn't for you, almost.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, we don't want to interrupt any important ceremonies, so if you need us to stay out of this room, just say that by word or gesture. We won't trouble this at all. It's clearly you're doing something very important to you.
Yeah, again, it repeats the gesture like, this is not for you.
Okay.
Prazu will
No.
lean in at some point and try to catch some
Catch some
spores in a
spores.
jar.
Awesome. Mark, put it on your sheet. Yeah.
Right.
It kind of like does a little like, are we done here?
Yes, and anytime you want to visit the surface, the way is clear now.
As you when you motion back, it like looks back at them, looks at you,
Oh, no.
looks down the hallway, and it like tentatively takes a few steps towards you as if to move past you.
Yeah, and I think Flip just moves out of the way. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, and you see like the legs are, its legs are about where a man's like knee to foot would be, so kind of like it's almost like a mushroom penguin, I guess.
Yeah.
It kind of like not stumbles. It's not ungraceful, but it definitely like a Star Wars droid kind of like twonks down the hallway towards the library. And when it gets there, you hear a more high pitched, like as if it's excited, and yeah, it's messing around the library now.
Oh, God. Oh.
Yeah, what next?
I've lost track of the map at this point.
So there's a door on the left wall here. There's a rough opening across the ceremony, and then back in the library there's a hallway leading to a door and another rough opening on the west wall.
Okay.
Can we get to a door in this room without disturbing the ceremony? We think
You can try. The rooms, again, it's about the same size as the first room. They're not taking up the whole space.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted to try to walk around them, you could do that without disturbing them.
That sounds like a good plan.
you
We'll just go around them.
And as like they kind of like they're kind of like watching their footsteps as they go around, but when you come close to them, they like, turn up and look at you.
Oh, no.
And like they're like a little startled and like "Ah!"
Which is going around.
and then continue on their procession. Cool. Do you want to try the door or the rough passage? Yeah.
As soon as we get to one of those doors, whoever's holding Umrix's mouth will release it. They've just been like carrying, like in a headlock this whole time. Just shut up. Just shut up, man.
I love it.
Nice. Yeah. So, did you want to try the door or try the opening?
I don't have a clear well, I slight preference for door over opening, but okay.
Cool. And I think like a few more of them like make eye contact as you're going down, and then like make a little noise,
Oh,
with their
no.
little wheezy things. And you're able to open the door is kind of fungused over a little bit, so
Ew.
you would, like as you open it, you would be like breaking open some little growths on there that would also puff out some more
Ah.
spores on you. But it's not difficult to do, and you're able to
Yeah.
open that door. And that leads to it's a long hallway there. And this hallway again looks like it was originally, it originally dug out for a tomb with stone walls and whatnot, but the walls and floor and ceiling, like as you walk along, it feels kind of spongy, and you feel that it like there's clearly different kinds of fungus growing all over. Some of it like glows in patches. Some of it almost seems to breathe a little bit here and there. But it, oh geez, but it does open up to another room that was, it was another crypt. It looks like it's got the niches in the wall,
Yeah.
but instead of like probably body size lying down, three high to a wall, but instead of just being open or being used as a library, there's actually iron bars, and you can see the bodies in there have all like blossomed with all these different fungi in there, almost as if the bars were put there to keep whoever was put in there in. And as you inspect it a little bit, you can see that some of the dried up corpses there actually have their hands around the bars, or their arms hanging out.
Oh no.
And there's the fungus continues to get more and more dense, until there's almost just like these like 4 to 8 foot tall like pillars of this sort of rusty yellowy fungus that it looks a little moister than the rest, I guess.
Strong Nausicaa vibes from all this.
Yeah. And there's a narrow entryway to the north that is open, but you would definitely have to like push your way through some of this. Yeah.
That's what we're doing, right?
I assume so, yeah.
Who's going first?
Oh man.
And then, do you have a torch, or are you counting on like there's enough kind of like ambient bioluminescence that you can kind of make your way through without a torch if you.
Elm does have a torch, but can give it over to anybody who wants it.
Yeah. So how are you making your way through this?
I think, Omerix is always excited.
Yar.
So he will certainly. Can he? Sorry, in the description of the thing that we have to sort of crawl through, can he like make it a bigger opening? By
Oh yeah. So the opening that in the wall is just a stone opening. It's part of the tomb.
Okay.
The tricky bit is kind of moving around these pillars of fungus without disturbing them. If you don't care about disturbing them, you can go right through.
Double gauche.
Right. Yeah, like treat it like spider webs.
Thump, 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 thump.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe yeah. Omerix will like grab a torch and in one hand and the sword in the other, and go like aha, and start to like run to clear the space.
All right.
Before hopefully someone catches him.
We don't need to roll that then. Yeah, so the first time you bump into one of the pillars, you can see it like it kind of like waves of this rust color like go up to it, go up, like pulsing up like a barber's pole almost, except each time a pulse goes up, the top gets a little bit fatter and fatter, and it only takes a few seconds, and there's like a delicate like cap on the end, and after a few pulses go through,
Oh
it just
no.
bursts open, and this shrieking sound comes out as the room is showered with this rust-colored
Oh
spore. Like everyone in the room is just it's just sticky and rusty, and it's like super like it's that like bitter, it's like orange juice, sticky, sweet, acidic kind of stuff. But it's just this deafening sound, like 1,000 demonic school children blowing on recorders. And once one goes off, they all like start
Oh. Oh no.
and so there's a dozen of these things just
Uh,
caterwauling.
Claxoning off.
Yeah. What do you do?
Oof.
Is anyone coming from behind us?
No.
Or-
Back
did
the
you
way
leave
we came.
Did you leave the door open or closed?
I feel like this group probably left it open.
If you look down the hall, you can see and these the fungus guys were like a little bit shorter than a person, like 5-ish feet tall.
No.
And if you look back down, you can see the silhouettes of a bunch of fungus guy heads in the
Mhm.
door with like little eyes blinking, just like staring down to see like what's gonna happen.
Oh no.
But they are not coming down the hall.
I think Prazu will use one of his wall spells on the. So it's like the entryway is now. I don't know, the source of the noise.
So it's the
Or the whole room.
the whole room has all these pillars that are
Okay.
alarms going off basically.
Mm-hmm. um, well, I mean, at this point, might as well go through the.
Might as well go through the narrow opening.
Yeah, and narrow are like 5-ish feet as opposed to 10 feet.
Oh, okay.
Cool. And those are like just going crazy, and eventually they die down and return to their normal color. This hallway goes down for 30-40 feet and ends in a T junction with a door on either side.
Are we covered in the spores?
Yeah, you're totally
Oh, no.
covered in this like rusty orange juice feeling and smelling kind of stuff.
I assume we can't take them off easily.
It would take some time and more water than you have on you, probably.
Mhm. Yes. Well, take a sample. Yes. Yeah. Do you have any hits on this, Peter, for the next move?
And we're just at a T junction, can go left or right.
Yeah, and there's doors on either side.
I don't think so. Like perversely, I want to split the party for no reason. Send two people dying, but I don't know. Yeah, I think we just run down the left passage.
Cool.
Kind of
And
blindly.
yeah, and there's a door there. Do you want to just bust open the door, or?
Yeah.
Cool. This room is actually relatively well appointed. There are there's places for torches on the walls. They're not lit, but your single torch gives enough illumination to see around. There are covered tombs with little stone covers and stuff that have the little carvings of whatever royalty holding a sword or whatever. In the center of the room is a sculpture of
Oh no, another sculpture.
Roll one die here. And this is a stone. Like this is clearly carved from the same stone that the crypt is carved from. And it looks to be of a young like brother and sister holding hands. But they're kind of like holding their hands together, kind of like this. Like kind of
Okay.
hand related like this. In the center of the
Hands.
where the hands are, there's carved like a little like pyramidal depression, and the children are dressed kind of like regally, as if they were this was the crypt of a brother and sister, prince and princess who were died young and were commemorated thusly.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a door on the far wall, which, judging from the way that you came, probably leads back into the library.
Oh, okay. Can Flip kind of poke at the pyramidal depression there and see if it responds in any way?
Yeah. Except when it feels like there's something like something there, like you can't get into the depression. It's as if there's something hard blocking it.
Oh, okay.
Probably like it's almost as if it was like covered with a transparent cover, maybe a couple inches across.
Oh, okay. And Flip tries to pry that off and I assume fails at it.
Oh no, yeah, you're easily able to
Oh, okay.
pry it off. It feels like a small stone, and you're able to like pick it up. And once you pick it up, you see it's a blue, like a very finely cut blue gemstone. The rest of you,
I guess I have a blue gemstone now. I'll add that to my list.
Flip was fucking around with the statue, and disappeared.
Interesting. Prazu will invite Umrix to go experiment with the statue.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, there's nothing at the statue now.
Yeah.
And Galen is immediately like, Prazu, what sort of magic was that?
Yeah, and you can still see Galen and hear him and everything. So they can answer if they want.
Oh, okay. I assumed that Flip was the one that disappeared.
Yeah, Flip disappeared. Flip is invisible
Oh, okay.
to the others, but
so
as far as they know, that he just disappeared. And now you can see the gemstone in your hand.
So when Umrix goes over to experiment, he like bumps into something.
Yeah.
He's like, "What?
Monster, invisible monster.
There's a ghost."
And yeah, Flip was just, no, what? It's me.
Yeah, and you hear him.
Yeah.
You hear his voice coming from the air.
And there's just a lot of, no, I'm here. I'm waving my hand in front. Okay.
Be a spirit.
Flip tries setting down the blue gem and letting go of it.
Yeah, and when you set it down, Flip reappears. But you can where did you set it down?
Oh, I think he just sets it down in the middle of the floor.
Yeah. You set it down the middle of the floor and it disappears.
The floor disappears or the gem disappears?
The gem disappears. Yeah.
Okay.
And of course we didn't see anything. We just saw like Flip appear as he like bending down to touch them.
Yeah. Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Well, this is in character question.
Oh yeah.
To the other.
Yeah, you all can.
Yes. I think Umrix has a knife out.
No.
Just in case.
Why?
What have you done with Flip? Prazu and Galen are like, no. It's a thing. It happens sometimes.
I think Flip is now fumbling around to find the gem again and seizes it and picks it up.
Yeah, it takes a minute or two to like, oh, okay, find where I put it, but you're eventually able to scoop it up. You're not under any time pressure, so
Yeah.
you're able to get it. And when you pick it up again, you disappear
Go
once more.
Okay, now am I invisible again?
Yes, interesting.
Okay, Prazu, hold your hand up, please. I'm gonna hand you this gemstone. So he hands it over.
You want
Yeah,
to do
and
this Zoom style? Where
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as you release it, you appear, and as soon as he turns to a coat. Yeah. It just disappears.
Interesting. Yes. He puts it back. He gives it back to Flip.
Who promptly disappears.
Disappears. Can I put it in a backpack and reappear, or I'll try putting it in a black backpack to see if that.
Yeah, as long as you're holding the backpack, you will still remain invisible.
Oh no. Oh, I did something to my formatting here. 1 second. No. Weird. Okay, so I'm invisible right now, and that. Yeah, I think Flip is just like, look, I'm invisible for the moment. I think, are we just okay with that for now?
Yeah, I think Armoris will be like, so no one can see you flip or do cartwheels. So by default, I'm the most impressive acrobat in the party. Like, yes, I'm happy with it. This is good. Yes, you should always be invisible. Yeah. Okay, and the Prazu. This is sort of an in-character question. Prazu is still like observing the sculpture.
Mhm.
Like nothing has changed. It has not.
Nothing has
moved
changed.
to
Yeah,
attack
it's just
us or
nope.
okay.
Couple darling little kids holding hands in death.
Well, I do want to open up the coffin, but well, it's going to be hard for Flip to lead the party now. With
Oh yeah, if you're invisible, does your torch still cast light?
Well, Gelb has the torch.
Oh, okay. Then we don't need to worry about that philosophical question.
Yeah. Let's say yes. If you're invisible, it means light is passing through you, or
Right, so you're
bouncing
still
off of you. But
exuding light, yeah. Yeah, so an invisible person with a torch would just be like this glowing area.
Oh man.
yeah, right. You wouldn't see the flame, but you'd see the light.
Yep.
I'm glad we solved that. Congratulations to the Twitch stream. Yes. I mean,
Try opening a coffin.
I mean, it seems curious that
You could dispatch Gelb to do it if you don't want Prazu doing it himself.
Geld, as a priest, how do you feel about opening tombs?
Oh, I'm perfectly willing. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're here.
He just immediately like goes off to start prying open a coffin.
Yeah, and you're able to open up the top pretty easily. It's just a stone that you push it off. And inside is a not greatly preserved man dressed in funeral clothes, holding a rusted sword over his chest.
I found a sword.
After a moment, it takes, because it's a dead body, so it's going to look a little bit weird. So it takes a moment to register that there's these kind of like sort of fuzzy / shiny mounds that are placed irregularly over the body. Yeah, they're like a foot or two across, like football-ish, like a half a football, only kind of like this fuzzy, glossy, membraney kind of stuff, kind of like just deposited different places
Oh,
all over the
no.
body.
There are mounds on this that seem kind of, I don't know, should I poke this?
Yeah, Umrix will like rush forward like, what? Something to poke?
Oh, no.
And Prazu will stop him for a minute and then just give him a vial.
Oh,
Make it count. Right?
no.
Get the sample. That's-
Yeah, so what does he do?
Unless, I mean, Galen, do you want to?
I think Gil
Or-
wants to, but doesn't want to get in the way at this point. Like
I guess-
it's sort of like, oh no, he didn't want me to do the poke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, yeah, I guess also we should check in with Flip. Like, don't even know where he is.
I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah. Umrix will
So,
try
yeah,
to take
Gil
a
steps
sample.
aside and sulks.
He does not know. He does not have like the classic science stick to collect goo, so he just uses one of his knives.
Mhm. Yeah, you're able to easily slice open one of these. And do you slice open a big one or a small one?
I think a big one. He
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the opening, once it kind of like peels back a little bit because it was under tension. And inside are these clusters of what would have been eggs in a smaller one, like long jellyish ovoids. But most of them have these kind of like 6-inch long maggoty things kind of like wriggling their way out of them now. They don't seem to be of any immediate danger. And if you wanted to gingerly
Sample.
take one with your knife and put one in a sample jar,
Yeah.
you could definitely do that for a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the little mounds appear to be some kind of egg sacs that have been deposited on the bodies of various vintages.
3 eggs. How many samples does Prazu have?
Yes, actually, gotta update that list.
Goo, he's got the spores, he's got the eggs.
Egg sample. Oh. Yeah, hold on. That's a weird
Oh, I can fix. Yeah.
egg sample. Wait, okay, weapons and armor do not count for your 10 limit?
They do.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm done in this room. I guess following our standard procedure, we just leave all of our doors and coffins opened.
Yeah, that sounds on brand
Yeah.
for this.
How else would we know that we've been here before?
Exactly.
Just take one of the items you're not using and put it in that room, so when you look, you can see it.
Yeah.
Great. There's the door that probably leads back to the library, and the one to the right that you have not opened yet.
Can we check the library door just for?
Yeah. Yeah, you can open it up, and you see the light of the library. And again, it's down a hall. It's 20-30 feet ish. And it's hard to tell if a fungus man is gleeful or not, but you definitely see him just like running back and forth in the library, kind of like putting his hands and shaking his head all over the books.
He's living his best life.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, found some prime fungusing medium.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's quite like, is everything okay here? Yep. Like just one fungus man.
Yeah, just invisible Flip checking in. You're doing okay in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we all just kind of shrug. Flip invisibly opens the other door, briefly freaking everybody out, I'm sure.
Opening the other door in the T-junction.
I think so. Yeah, whatever the other door that was available was.
Yeah.
Oh,
The thing, as you go to open it, you notice about the store is it is kind of slimy. It's covered in.
Oh no.
It's not like bily pus like our gentle friend who left, but it is, maybe it's just like dungeon algae, but it's definitely slick with some kind of goo.
Oh man. I feel like Flip probably opens the door before realizing this. It's like, oh. It's all slimy.
And yeah, like like looking at your hand and looking at the rest of the room. So this is a tomb of a singular person, whose sort of stone crypt is in the center of the room. It's hard to tell whose it was, because on top of the crypt has been built,
Oh no.
throne is maybe a strong word, but the rest of the room is filled with, not filled with, but is would be well appointed in a normal situation. There's stuffed chairs, a little ottoman, a small table with a what would have been a buffet about 40 years ago, probably. And some of the chairs and small tables have been kind of stacked around and on top of the tomb. But all of the furniture kind of has a relatively uniform gloss of this kind of mucusy ooze on it. Flip.
Yeah.
What's the first thing that pops into your mind when you see this scene?
Oh, I think he just thinks like this is probably sickness.
Yeah. Is there someone when Flip was growing up that he was kind of like intimidated by?
Huh. Let's see here. I think so. I think there was a thieves guild that he was part of for a while, and got expelled from, probably.
Yeah.
Because there was probably a chief of the thieves guild,
Yeah.
who just went really hard on everybody has to follow the rules of the thieves guild. We're not savages here. It was like an oddly aristocratic head thief or master thief of the city state.
Yeah, and sitting on this like ooze covered throne of like jumbled together furniture is Clip, the guild master, only like kind of distorted, like his limbs are like 10% longer than they should be.
Oh god.
And he's clad in this like slick black like creaky leather, like kind of like two long arms and legs and head a little bit distended. All covered with like a good half-inch of mucus all over.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of like sitting lazily at the top of this throne, sneering at you. Just kind of like balancing like a little curved dagger, and it looks like he's balancing it on his finger, but it's really like
just an extension,
floating half an inch above his finger.
Oh, okay.
And Flip is still invisible.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He looks straight at you.
God damn it.
And said, "I knew you would come to this without us. Common grave robber."
No.
Disgusting.
And yeah, I think this is the first time we see Flip like chastened. I don't think it's I think it's so the right person for him to have seen for this particular thing that his brain isn't really catching up with him yet.
Yeah. Can I get a bloodthirsty roll from him for
Ah,
to keep your
y-
nerve?
Sure. So that's just gonna be straight D20.
Yep.
Chastised by Master Thief.
Or sorry, are the rest of
17?
us observing this? Or
This is all happening like pretty quickly as he's opening the door and taking the scene in.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you hear the voice coming not only from him, but
Yeah.
kind of reverberating inside, like Moon Knight kind of reverberations and
Yeah.
rephrasings and stuff inside your head. And like it's weird enough that it strikes you, but you can tell it's not him.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
It's but like it's
Oh, man.
still like hit you pretty hard.
Could I add that, like,
And
sorry.
yeah. No, go.
I just wanted to think that, like, maybe in the back of Flip's head, it's like, what was the name you gave the chief of the
Clip.
Clip? It's like,
Yep.
Clip would be talking about himself at this point. Like, I feel like that was sort of the Master Thief would be chastising someone and then raising himself up as like the natural arc of his conversations. It's like, something's off here.
Who's right behind Flip?
Well, I think Geln is going to be behind Praxu.
Yeah, I think
Prazu, sorry.
Umrix is next, and then Prazu.
Cool. Umrix. Yeah, what's in Umrix's background that would what was he afraid of as a child?
I'll say rats. Rats on the
Yeah.
ship. He was sort of a he was a child who was often punished for things, or there wasn't a lot of space, so spent a lot of time either cleaning out or being held in the bilge area.
Yeah.
In the hold of a ship. So
yeah, and you can kind of when the door opens, that smell hits you of the bilge water and the stale ocean, and yeah, you see this big oozy pile of furniture, and there's just a mound of rats just seething over it, and they like when you kind of make eye contact with a large rat that's sitting on the top of it, it squeals, and this just like tsunami of rats just rushes towards you. How does he react to that?
I want to say with
the fanciest rat.
Most affectionate.
I'm gonna say just rage. Like,
nice.
Like he's worked so hard to get away from that, and now they're gonna drag him back in.
Does rage include striking at them?
Yeah.
All right. Let's roll initiative. Can you just roll me a d6?
Three.
Yikes. Okay. I'm gonna need you to resist an attack from a giant wave of rats. Oh boy. So this is gonna be a sneaky roll, and you're gonna need a 19.
Nice. Well, I've got a +1.
Yeah.
15.
How many hit points do you have?
4 left.
Ooh. Okay. The two of you who are standing behind him see Ulrich's you see a wave of rats just seethe out of the room, and Ulrich's goes red with rage, and reaches for all his gauches. But before he can, the rats just swarm up him and just knock him down, tearing at him.
Oh no.
Did you have armor
A ribbon
or
shirt.
shield or helm?
I had a ribbon shirt.
Does that count as armor?
I mean, I don't know.
Your call.
Gonna get more torn. I mean, I was thinking yes, but
Okay. Let's re-roll that defense roll then.
okay.
See if it does any good.
Part 2. 17.
17. So that's an 18.
Oh no, 17 total.
Oh, 17 total. Yeah. It's a bad scene. The rest of you are just horrified as the body is just right in a bunch of rats drag an arm away, and
Oh.
blood squirts Evil Dead style everywhere. The screams are awful until they just gurgle to a stop. All of those hit points gone.
Oh no.
And
I guess
Prazu, yeah, go for it.
I can't stave off death with a heal at this point.
You had how many hit points left?
I had 4 before.
It's 4. I'm gonna say no.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like the last rats are just like pulling the death's head flag. Just
Yeah.
Oh no.
like a trophy they've won.
What are the rest of you doing?
Oh. Does Flip see this happen?
Yeah, Flip sees this happen. It's
Okay.
almost as if the rats were kind of like Clip kind of like went like that, and the rats just seethed out of his body and onto Rick's.
Okay. Yeah, I'm figuring Flip, like whatever this is not, it's not to be messed with, and he runs back the way he came if possible.
A good choice.
Are the when are the rats a danger to anyone else, or are they?
Not immediately, but possibly soon, depending on what the rest of y'all do.
So Flip comes running out. Of course, we can't see this.
And he probably bumps, like just bashes through you.
And I think Geln is like ineffectually trying to chant some sort of heal at the writhing mass
Awesome.
to no particular purpose or end.
Why did Geln become a cleric?
I think I think he had some formative experience of seeing a magician, a wizard,
Mhm.
a mystical person come to his village and fight off some evil that was threatening the town. And he decided he was going to do the same thing and completely failed at getting into like whatever wizarding guild or Hogwarts was available. And but there was an abbey that or a monastery that said, we've been hit by plague, we'll take you in.
What was the evil that the wizard fought off?
Oh, okay. I'm going to say like it was something like a black hole, like a darkness that appeared in the town and just started sucking things into it. And growing as it did so.
Yeah, so it's weird that all these rats just like swarmed out of this completely black room. Absolutely nothing in it. And you can kind of like feel in your bones the void.
Oh yeah. And so I think that's enough to scare Geln away completely. Yes, we have to
go. Prazu still hanging out there? What's Prazu doing?
Maybe I just are the So the rats are still on the other side or coming towards this door.
They're
Or-
just kind of like everywhere right now.
I think Prazu's first action will be to cast a wall of some sort. To, like,
Perfect.
to, like stop the flood. However, that is,
Awesome.
to like dam up that.
Like close up that room.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah.
As long as most of the people are on this side.
Yeah, everyone fucking booked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is gonna last for 2 rounds, whatever that winds up being.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you feel this fear welling up inside you as you cast the wall. And as soon as the wall goes up, it's like sealing off the end of the. What does it look like when you cast that?
I think Prazu. Oh, we haven't done any magic yet, have we? For Prazu.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to say something real boring. Yeah. How about this? It just looks like in this case, it just looks like more wall. It's just like the wall.
Matches
Now it's
perfectly.
just like that door, not an issue anymore.
It's like bad 80s magic TV show jump cut, just like poink. Awesome. Yeah, that is holed up now. And you feel the fear drain from your body a little bit. But you know that it's not going to last.
Interesting.
Cool. 2 of you are booking it back into the library, back to the screaming fungus room.
I assume that that Flip is booking it back to the library.
Cool.
Yeah.
The rest of you following suit.
I mean, as much as we can follow.
yeah.
Like, just sort of like
Yeah.
an invisible, like I don't know. I don't know. if
Thump,
you're, like,
thump, thump,
bumping
thump,
into
thump,
something or-
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Gilm is terrified briefly, and then it's like, oh wait, that's Flip, and then goes out.
Yeah. And it's not like there's clouds of dust as you thump past. So you can easily follow him back to the library. Yeah, and in the library, I think the fungus guy is kind of like he's trying not to be seen. He's just kind of like standing still and hoping that he blends in with whatever he's standing next to.
There's no new guards
Not yet. Nope.
from
Oh, God.
okay. I don't know. I mean, I think Prazu would consider running. Just totally.
Probably a good call.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, but without his somewhat servant. Umber,
Oh
so
no.
he's a little a little lost. Like he will ask Flip, like where obviously Flip is not standing. So it's
Yeah.
like what should we do?
Oh man.
Like you're the captain. Words should mean something. What do we do?
Yeah, oh man. Yeah, I think
the unexplored places are the rough tunnels
Mhm.
from both the library and the fungus shrine.
Oh, the rough tunnel. We can get to a rough tunnel from here.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, I think Flip's immediate instinct is to go back out, is to leave the tomb completely.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
maybe like compare it, like it'd be funny like I mean I guess Praxu, or what is my name?
Prazu.
Prazu did not have an experience, did not have a sensation, whereas Gelm had the darkness and
Yeah, he
Oh,
wasn't. He didn't get a chance to like.
Yeah.
He felt the fear welling up, but it didn't have a chance to
didn't
instantiate.
take form.
Yeah. It'd be just funny if you guys were just like comparing, like, why was that? Like, did you see?
Why was my old boss there?
Yeah. So to the daylight lands.
Oh man, I'm in. Yeah, I feel like that's what Flip would do, and I'm intrigued to see where the story
Yep.
goes. If it's
Yeah.
Flip.
you got a sweet gem and a
Tome.
tome of
Tome.
dubious. You don't know what it is exactly, but you know stories about it.
In my imagination for later, it allows the user to clone themselves and like,
Right.
share a hive mind. But
Yeah.
each time you clone, it increases your like self-loathing,
Oh,
which is
no.
and like also a direct now that you have like someone to direct it to.
Yeah, so the way the like lore
Is
is
that really what my
thing
voice
works.
sounds like?
So what like I'll ask you what this thing does, and then I roll. So I rolled a 4 for that. So it probably like kind of does something that you like, but it probably has some relatively serious side effects or drawbacks to it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're yeah, we can end it there. That's cool. That's a good 2
Oh,
hours
okay.
of dungeoning. There's a whole city thing that would probably take a whole other session.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, you can escape with and yeah, the guys have not come back yet. They're
They've got their
ooze
own.
monster. We know the heart of the cockroach thing is down there. We're just gonna we're gonna come back with a bigger stone.
Mhm.
I think people are no longer going in this way.
Oh no.
Cool. Yeah, and you make it up. So if we were going to continue playing, if you want to, you level up after every dungeon. So advancement means that where are we here? Yeah, so you would get
so
a
you're
level in a roll and get another ability in that roll. So you can either bump a roll that you have a 2 in up to a 3, or get a new one, or whatever you like.
Oh yeah.
And every third ability that you get in total, you get 1 more hit. So you would get 1 more hit.
Let Gelm ask questions of God.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the boss of the dungeon.
Who was
the
fear monster thing?
Yeah, so it's just a demon.
The what?
Description: a demon.
Oh, okay.
It says your inner fears made flesh. Whatever pops into your twisted mind is what it looks like. It has a 19 resistance, so you didn't really get into any combats, which is interesting.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There's the down the rougher passage, which is also right. The first thing you've come at after the other entrance was a room with it's the grave robber's lair, and there were 10 serpent man illusionists in it.
God.
That would have been a combat. But yeah, this was a demon, so you would have had to roll a 19 to hit it. It has 12 hit points, and you normally do 1 point of damage per hit, and it hits for 5 points.
Oh man.
So that would have been a short fight.
And that was the demon.
That was the demon boss that probably would have had the heart of whatever we were looking for.
Oh
Yeah, but yeah, that's gonna fuck up pretty much anyone who comes down here and level up a bunch and come back. We'll see what happens.
Oh man.
Yeah, so there's just like talk about the system a little bit. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
There's a reaction roll for each of them. So it's basically like for the mooks, which are in this dungeon, the serpent folk and the fungoids. The mooks 3 and 6 chance they're enemies. So I roll a d6. 1 to 3, they're enemies. 4 to 6, they're not of some strength. So like great, they weren't enemies, so they were just like doing their thing. If you bothered them, you might have gotten into a fight with them, but they were just like, we're doing our thing, can you please leave us alone? Thank you.
That was such a fun interaction, and then leading one of them off to the library.
So I rolled NPC for the library room there, or for the that's the servant's tomb, which became a library once he was put in it. And he was described as a sage who needs help getting out. Since you are already opened and cleared the way, I was like, okay, yeah, the slime golem took his thing and he can't get out that way. But oh no, that's all taken care. So he just fucks off. The first room was the foyer, which had
The slime golem.
the bile golem in it, and again, like 3 in 6 chance that he was working by himself, and he
Yeah.
wound up being friendly. So otherwise, he would have been working for the demon.
Oh,
and
okay.
that would have been another combat, but we rolled a bunch of fun, helpful monsters. It's like,
Yeah.
I just need to get out of here, guys.
It's like, oh, well, okay, we can work together on this.
Yeah, so that was an interesting, like, random assortment of stuff.
Yeah.
The other things the tomb could have been would be or flooded, shrouded, or glowing. So the flooded one, like everything's like in a foot of water.
Oh.
The other one's like all skeletons and rats and stuff. Yeah, it's really interesting. And then like each room, it's like cool. Roll to see if it's like a bunch of mooks or the medium guy or a trap or whatever. There's like a list of different things that can be in there and a list of like set dressing stuff like the insect eggs and the slime and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
So it's got like a bunch of like evocative adjectives. But otherwise you just like kind of roll to see what shape stuff is and roll with it.
Cool.
And yeah, combat is rough. Like even just fighting a bunch of low level guys, you can get fucked up
Killed
pretty fast.
pretty quick.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
is the dungeoneering part of Down We Go.
Woohoo!
Was this
Yeah.
from the main book or?
So yeah, there's a main book I have. It's a beta release. It has a bunch of undone stuff. That one pager is just like the core character and rule stuff. But this has like the city and some DM advice, like making your own dungeons. It has a couple of dungeons in it, a bunch of NPCs and factions and stuff that would come into play in a campaign.
Oh,
Yeah, it's and they're expanding it continually. It looks really fun. There's a sci-fi version called like it's not Into the Void, something like that. But it's basically like a science fiction version where you're going into space hulks and stuff. Same system and everything. And then I'm doing a mech, surreal mech version of it, which I haven't tested it all yet, and kind of like trying to figure out because the dungeons are going to be like missions. You go into like the wastes, and the wastes each have a different flavor and stuff. And so like I'm still working on the mission structure stuff.
Right.
But yeah, the rest of it's pretty fun. So it's a nice little. They have a nice SRD that you can build your own thing on top of. So if you're
SRD.
interested, a system resource document that like basically like lays out the 10 poles of the system. So if you want to make a Weird West version or whatever else, you could do that. Yeah. Stars and wishes. Why not? Start with Peter.
Just letting the golem out into the courtyard was just delightful. I love the vibe the whole time of like all of us just kind of finding ourselves in a D&D game and kind of pushing at it, like constantly pushing at the edges of it to see like how we could do it fun and wrong.
Yeah.
The feeling I had from it. Like, let's help the golem get out. And then finally it's like, yeah, somebody just got killed. Let's get out of here.
A good choice.
Well, and it's so rarely, or it feels like something that doesn't come up in more conventional dungeon crawlers.
Yeah, for sure.
Wishes. I'd say I really liked the details of like what is the thing from your past that you're scared of, or like the evocative questions mechanic I always love, and the more of that I could have, that the happier I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, just more opportunities to kind of build world build around the dungeon crawl.
Yeah, for sure.
Would have been fun. But what I got, I enjoyed a lot.
Cool. Ben.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's always funny when you know, Mark, at the end when you said like, oh, like more about the game, and I was thinking like, well, I enjoyed that, but like, it's always the question of like, did I enjoy that as written or just like as played?
Right.
Like,
Right.
like, you know, I mean, I think the game that I have played the most with you two is probably Fiasco.
Mhm.
And it's always funny whenever I'm just thinking about like, am I just making this into Fiasco?
Yeah.
But like it's just very funny to like growing up on like, you know, Beck Me D&D, where I'm just like, okay,
Mhm.
like how do I win this?
Yeah.
Versus Fiasco, where I'm like, okay, how do I make this terrible for myself? Or for my character, I should say. Yeah, no, I enjoyed the vibe. There was definitely, I thought, a tension that I enjoyed between thinking about like okay, this is a dungeon, we're supposed to kill everything, and like,
Right.
and then the first thing is like, oh, we release the bile, you know, demon, you know. And after that, I think that was probably my favorite weird, because now it's like oh, now we're we're doing like a prison break from the dungeon.
Yeah.
Like there was a moment there where I kind of thought like, should we just follow the bile demon and like
if you were smart, yeah.
I don't know. It just reminds me of this one time. Sorry, this is
Yeah.
but in a college game at one point, my a friend said like, well, we should start a revolution. Like very much like not a good player in that sense of just like, you know, like the DM's like, okay, like the king wants to give you a mission. He's like, we should, like, why is there a monarchy? We should overthrow the monarchy.
Oh, no.
And like every once in a while I'm kind of thinking like, yes, like why don't we do that more often?
I literally just did that in a game of it wasn't I forget which one it was. One of the games I played in the last couple of weeks. Like there was the queen sending us on this mission and it's clearly shady and the city guard is oppressed and everything. I'm like, why don't you just go fuck her up, man? And then at the end they did eventually.
All you have to lose are your chains.
Yeah, and your soul because she's a shadow demon. But you know, whatever.
No.
We'll get there. We'll resurrect the giant snake god and have it fight her. Yeah, different game.
Yeah. So I definitely, that I guess that's the thing that I really enjoyed, is that like tension between like OSR and story game as played.
Mhm.
As for a wish, there was a moment there after like a room or two when I was like, oh, I should be writing this. I should be writing a map. like
Oh, I had that feeling too. Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh right, this is what we do. We have like you tell one person in the party just to
You're the caller. You're the mapper.
yeah.
Yeah. If I had prepared more, I would have brought that over to the spreadsheet or whatever, and unrevealed stuff. But yeah.
But that's just one thing. It's just like sometimes it was hard to like, and I thought it was helpful and, you know, useful when you were like, oh, and this like this you know, this door probably leads back to the library, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know how tombs
Yeah.
work. It just kind of goes in a circle. Yeah. It's
Um,
interesting because the maps are from in the game. I think they're Dyson maps, so they're a prolific guy who does really nice maps, who releases them for free use all over the place. And he's been doing that for like 15 years, and now he does maps for D&D books and stuff. But these are Dyson maps. And like each room is numbered, and it's like, cool, this room leads to this room leads to this room, there's a door here, and then in this room roll for the stuff, which kind of like basically makes it just a point crawl. It's just like, oh, here, this thing, go from here to the geometry of it doesn't really come into play too much in these ones, which is kind of fun. And you know, I love maps, so it's nice to look at a nice map while I'm doing that. I'll cut and paste the map while I'm talking. But yeah, and this is kind of what I'm hoping to lean on for the mech thing, because it's like you know, it's like anime mech meets Annihilation kind of vibe I'm going for. So it's definitely more like, go to this place and then this fucked up thing happens, and then go to this place and then this fucked up thing happens. So yeah, but the point crawl part of it is really interesting, just because of the I guess because it's not a pre-designed setup. The way there's not a built-in ecology. And kind of like as we're rolling random stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like the fungus guys are over here, the snake guys are over here, the demons probably working with the snake guys, and that's why there's an alarm room because they don't want the demon coming in and fucking up their ritual.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Like, oh, that makes sense that that's there then. So it all kind of like eventually came together, but like the geography feels like it matters less because of the kind of what do you call it when something comes together by itself?
Self-organizing or
Yeah, that sort of
Or like emergent properties.
emergent, yeah,
There we
the
go.
emergent way that comes together. It's really cool, but it feels like there's not a built-in system to it. So it's like, oh, cool. Like
yeah.
it's really nice to be able to play with it that way, but it also lacks the organization of a pre-written dungeon, which is totally fine. I just put the dungeon in a new tab, sheet 5.
Sheet 5. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you started at 1 and then went through the library there, and the demon was at 4. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened.
Are those stairs up or stairs down?
So there's the 2 entrances to the tomb.
Yeah.
The greenhouse would have led you to 7 there, which is where all the lizard men are.
Oh no.
Or the serpent people. Yeah, that might have been just like a big fight and a TPK right off. Unless they were friendly for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, but I really like the kind of I love the make 'em ups. So and I'm biased because I'm good at it, I feel. So I could take a bare skeleton of a dungeon and make something cool out of it. I was just reading an article or a blog that someone wrote about like rules light stuff. There's still a lot of rules. It's just that they are rules that we have internalized as GMs or players or whatever. So it's like, I know, like when you fail, it's not because you're a dipshit. It's because you come up against something cool. Like when there's 2 things in adjacent rooms, there's a reason for it. They're not just monsters dropped in a thing. When I know how to share a spotlight and when to call for rolls and all this stuff. And none of that's written anywhere because we've been playing / running games for so long that those rules are written, but they're written within us, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's like when we write a rules light game, it's not that that's better. It's just that it's less work to learn for people who are already experienced, but very difficult for people who are not. So I'm biased. I really like it a lot. Someone new to stuff like this would have a harder time with it.
Would want more of a framework of rules and established lore to.
Have you?
So did I talk over you, Ben? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask if you've looked at the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition.
I have looked through it. Yeah.
No, I liked a lot of it. That I skimmed it a while ago.
Yeah.
Available at the library. If anyone wants to look at it. Not sorry, Peter, not your library. I don't know.
But,
available on the high seas.
Yar.
But a bunch of
R.I.P.
like,
Umrex.
the things that are just like only roll if it's an interesting roll. Or like they're like, oh yes, like that is a good rule. And like it feels very beginner, but like in a good way to be like to say those things again. Like,
but even I think like not to bag on D&D players, but I still see this with a lot of experienced D&D players where like whether it's the DM making people roll for just walking across the room or picking their nose or whatever, or like a player being like, oh, I rolled a 20 on this skill that you didn't ask me to roll, so what happens? Kind of like, oh, like you shouldn't just be rolling for every dumb thing that doesn't matter. Like only roll when there's an interesting consequence to it. And that's one of the, like, on a tangent, there's every couple of months the like, oh, as a GM, do you fudge your rolls or not? Like discourse comes up, and I'm like, if you're gonna like, if you already know what outcome you want, don't bother rolling.
Do
like
that.
if you're gonna fudge this roll, like that if you roll X amount of damage, this is gonna kill the character. Like if you don't want to kill him, don't roll the damage.
Yeah.
Like don't fudge it.
No one is making you do this.
Yeah. So yeah, only roll for interesting stuff, kids.
Yeah. No, it's interesting that like that adventure that I was writing, or
The Noel one.
Yeah.
The fangs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where there's a mystery, and I'm just like oh, like you can roll here. It's not whether or not you find the clue. It's whether
Yeah.
like you make a fool of yourself when you do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I guess like I'm doing this like I want to be playing Gumshoe or something.
Yep.
Like why am I
Or
writing
Brindlewood.
this? Yeah. Oh, that Kickstarter is almost over, isn't it?
Yeah, there's I think
Hours away.
2 hours left now, and they smashed every record. I think they beat out Merc Borg or Cyborg. I think. Yeah, unlocked all the stretch goals. It's I can't wait. They have like a fully
$601,305 of their. That's in Canadian dollars though,
well
and it
deserved.
just went up.
Yeah.
Of their. Oh, here we go. 473,187.99 American of their $10,000 goal.
Like fully illustrated maps and like a dozen new adventures and illustrations for every suspect and all sorts. Like it's gonna be a fucking baller book. It's so great. So if you're watching, get in on it now.
Nephews in Peril.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, I've got the current edition of that, and it's just gonna get better.
And you'll get the cookbook, right?
Yep, I'm definitely getting the cookbook because that's only in print. They're not making a PDF of that. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I backed it, and I'm excited, having never read it or played it.
If you ever want to play, I love running it. I've run it for people who are just like, I don't really either like. I've never played role-playing games and I want to find out what they're like. I'm like, let me tell you what they're like. Let's play Brindlewood Bay.
Yeah.
Or people who are like, I've only played D&D and people keep talking about indie games. And I don't really see why I would want to. I've run some for people like that. And they're like, oh, you couldn't do this in D&D. Oh, okay. I get it now. Maybe I'll try some other games. Yeah, so I have like a standing open offer. Anytime anyone wants to try that out, always down for it.
Oh, sorry. I was just looking like, I know I made a Nephews in Peril joke at some point on Twitter, though. Yeah. I know, it was Jason posted a picture of, I don't know, is this from Dallas or some, I don't know. Actually, don't know who it is. Yes, it's just 3 women with like very nice fur coats. And I said,
Might be from Dallas. Yeah.
He said, I want to make a game that has the energy of this picture. Brindlewood Bay, new furs
Yeah.
and trouble. And that was my joke, which I just wanted to read into the record.
Love it.
Yeah.
Anything else about
Okay.
the game that we have played, or I'll stop the recording or the streamio here, and only the stream. Not anyone out.
Everyone out.
Everyone out. Smash that follow button. Do whatever. 9 more followers till we get 50, which is the magic number for some reason. Love
Follow
it.
that subscribe button.
Yeah. Cool. Bye, live stream.